Hello, everyone. Welcome to Speak English with Cath. I'm really happy you're here with us today. Today, we are talking about something many English learners struggle with, saying no. Not just saying no, but saying no politely.
Oh, this is difficult. Sometimes I want to say no, but I feel bad, so I just say yes.
Yes, that happens to many people, not only English learners. Even native speakers feel this, because saying no can feel uncomfortable. We don't want to hurt people. We don't want to seem rude. We don't want to create a bad feeling.
Exactly. Sometimes I agree to things I don't want to do, and later I regret it.
That's very honest and very common. But here's the good news. You can say no in a way that is kind, respectful, and natural. You don't need complicated English. You just need the right phrases and the right tone.
That sounds helpful, because I think I only know one way to say no.
Let me guess. You say no.
Yes, and it sounds too direct.
Exactly. In English, just saying no can feel a little strong, so we often soften it. We make it more polite. Let's start with a very simple and useful phrase. I'm sorry, I can't. For example, can you help me tomorrow? You can say, I'm sorry, I can't.
That already sounds softer.
Yes, adding I'm sorry makes it polite. It shows respect. Now we can make it even more natural by adding a small reason. For example, I'm sorry, I can't. I have something planned.
So giving a reason makes it better?
Yes, you don't need a long explanation. Just a simple reason is enough. For example, I'm sorry, I can't. I'm busy that day. I'm sorry, I can't. I have a meeting. Short and clear.
I like that. It feels honest.
Exactly. Now let's imagine a real-life situation. A friend asks you, do you want to go out tonight? But you are tired. You want to stay home. Instead of saying no, you can say, I'd love to, but I'm really tired tonight.
Oh, that sounds very natural.
Yes. Let's look at that sentence again. I'd love to, but this is a very useful pattern. First, you show something positive. I'd love to. Then you say no, but I'm tired.
So it feels kinder.
Exactly. Let's try another example. Can you help me with this project? You can say, I'd love to help, but I'm really busy today.
I see. Positive first, then no.
Yes, this helps the other person feel respected. Now, let's practice together. I will ask you something. You answer politely. Ready?
Okay.
Can you come to my party this weekend?
I'd love to, but I already have plans.
Perfect. That was excellent.
It feels much better than just saying no.
Yes, because communication is not only about meaning, it's also about feeling. Now let's talk about another useful phrase. Maybe next time. For example, I'd love to join you, but I'm busy. Maybe next time.
That sounds friendly.
Yes, it keeps the relationship positive. It shows you are still interested, just not now.
Sometimes I worry that saying no will damage the relationship.
That's a very real feeling, but actually saying no politely builds respect. People understand that you have your own time and limits, and when you say yes, it becomes more meaningful.
That makes sense.
Now let's look at another situation. At work, your coworker asks, can you finish this task for me? But you already have too much work. You could say, I'm sorry, I can't right now. I have a deadline.
That sounds professional.
Yes, polite and clear. You are not rude, you are honest, and that is important in communication.
Sometimes I feel nervous saying no to people at work.
That's very normal. Work situations can feel more serious, but polite language helps you feel more confident. Now, let's try a short role play. You are at work. I ask you for help. Hey, Lester, can you help me with this report?
I'm sorry, I can't right now. I have a deadline.
That's excellent, clear and respectful.
I feel more confident already.
That's wonderful to hear, because learning these small phrases can change how you communicate every day. And remember, saying no is not a bad thing. It's a healthy part of communication. And when you learn to say it politely, you protect your time, your energy, and your confidence. And that's something every English learner deserves. Now let's continue with another important idea. Sometimes, instead of saying no directly, we can use a softer expression. These expressions help the conversation feel more gentle. One very useful phrase is, "I'm not sure I can." For example, "Can you join us for dinner tonight?" You can say, "I'm not sure I can. I might be busy."
That sounds less strong than I can't.
Exactly. It gives a softer feeling. It's especially useful when you don't want to sound too direct. Now, here's another very natural phrase. "I'll have to check." For example, "Can you meet tomorrow?" You can say, "I'll have to check my schedule."
Oh, I like that. It gives me time.
Yes, sometimes you don't need to say no immediately. You can give yourself space to think. This is very useful in real life. Now let's talk about another situation. Someone invites you to do something in the future, but you already feel you don't want to go. You can say, "I'll see," or "Let me think about it."
But what if I already know I want to say no?
Good question. These phrases are softer, but you should use them honestly. If you are sure you don't want to go, it's better to say no politely. For example, "Thank you for inviting me, but I can't make it."
So, honesty is still important.
Always. Polite English is not about hiding the truth. It's about saying the truth in a kind way. Now let's look at another useful pattern. Unfortunately. This word is very helpful when saying no. For example, "Can you come to the meeting?" "Unfortunately, I can't. I have another appointment."
That sounds very professional.
Yes, you will often hear this in work situations. It shows that you feel a little regret, and that makes your no sound softer. Now let's practice a few examples together. I will give you a situation, you try to answer. I will give you a situation, you try to answer. Your friend says, "Let's go to the gym together tomorrow," but you don't want to go.
I'd love to, but I already have plans.
Very good. Let's try another one. Your coworker asks, "Can you stay late today?"
Unfortunately, I can't. I have something to do tonight.
Excellent. That sounds natural and polite.
I'm starting to feel more comfortable.
That's great. Now let's talk about something deeper, the feeling of guilt. Many people feel guilty when they say no.
Yes, I feel that a lot. I think maybe I should help.
That feeling is very human, but saying yes to everything can make you tired. It can create stress and sometimes even frustration. Learning to say no is also learning to respect yourself.
That's true. Sometimes I say yes, but inside I feel unhappy.
Exactly, and that feeling can affect your communication. When you say no politely, you are being honest, and honesty creates better relationships. Now let's imagine a real-life emotional situation. A friend asks you for help, but you are very tired. You want to rest. You could say, "I'm really sorry, I can't today. I'm feeling very tired. Can we do it another time?"
That sounds kind.
Yes, you are honest about your feeling and you still show care. Now let's look at another useful phrase. "I wish I could, but..." For example, "Can you join us this weekend?" "I wish I could, but I already have plans."
Oh, that sounds very warm.
Yes, it shows that you want to say yes, but you can't. It adds emotion to your sentence. Now let's try a longer role play. We're friends. I invite you to something. "Hey Lester, we're going hiking this Sunday. Do you want to join us?"
I wish I could, but I already promised my family I would spend time with them.
That's perfect. Very natural and very polite.
I feel like I'm learning many ways to say no.
Yes, and that's important, because in real life, we don't always use the same sentence. We change our language depending on the situation. Now let's talk about tone again. Even the best sentence can sound rude if the tone is not friendly. For example, I can't. If you say it quickly and coldly, it may sound rude. But if you say, I'm sorry, I can't, with a soft voice, it feels completely different.
So how we say something is as important as what we say.
Exactly. Tone, facial expression, and body language all matter. Even in English learning, these small things are very important. Now let's look at one more situation. Someone asks you for something again and again, and you have already said no. This can be difficult.
Yes, that feels uncomfortable.
In this situation, you can stay polite but firm. For example, I'm really sorry, but I can't help with that. And if they ask again, I understand, but I still can't.
So I don't change my answer.
Yes, you stay consistent, polite, but clear. That shows confidence.
I think this is very important in real life.
It really is, because communication is not only about language, it's also about boundaries. And learning how to say no politely is a big step towards confident communication. And the more you practice these phrases, the more natural they will feel in your daily life. Now let's bring everything together. You've learned many ways to say no politely, but the most important step is using them in real life, because confidence does not come from knowing, it comes from doing.
Yes, I feel like I understand the phrases, but using them in real situations is still a little scary.
That's completely normal. Trying something new always feels a little uncomfortable at first, but we can make it easier with practice. Let's go through a few real-life situations together. And this time, try to imagine yourself in each one. Feel the situation, feel the emotion, then respond naturally.
Okay, I'll try.
Situation 1. Your friend calls you at night. They say, hey, can you talk right now? But you are tired and want to sleep. What do you say?
I'm really sorry, I can't talk right now. I'm very tired.
That's very good. Simple and honest. You could also add, can we talk tomorrow? That keeps the connection warm.
Ah, yes, that sounds better.
Situation 2. Your coworker asks, can you take my shift this weekend? But you already made personal plans. What do you say?
I'd love to help, but I already have plans this weekend.
Excellent. Very natural. Situation 3. A friend invites you to a party, but you don't feel comfortable going.
I wish I could, but I don't think I can make it.
That's very polite. You're doing great.
I feel more confident now.
That's wonderful to hear. Now, let's talk about something important. Sometimes after you say no, there may be a short silence, and that silence can feel uncomfortable.
Yes, I always feel like I need to say something more.
You don't always need to. Silence is okay. You already gave a clear and polite answer. Sometimes less is better.
That's good to know.
But if you want to keep the conversation friendly, you can add something small. For example, maybe next time, or let me know how it goes. These phrases keep the connection positive.
I like that. It feels warm.
Now let's talk about confidence. Saying no politely is not just about language. It's about believing that your time and your feelings matter.
That's true. Sometimes I forget that.
Many people do, but every time you say no in a kind and respectful way, you are building confidence. You are learning to communicate clearly, and that is a very powerful skill.
I think this will help not only my English, but also my life.
Absolutely. Language and life are connected. When you speak with confidence, you live with confidence. Now let's do one final role play. This time, let's make it a little longer. We're coworkers. I ask you for something more than once. You stay polite and confident. Ready?
Ready.
Hey, Lester, can you help me finish this task today?
I'm sorry, I can't today. I have a lot of work to finish.
Oh, it won't take long, just a few minutes.
I understand, but I really need to focus on my work right now.
Are you sure? I really need help.
I'm really sorry, but I can't help this time.
That was excellent. You stayed calm, you stayed polite, and you stayed clear.
It felt strong, but still respectful.
Exactly. That's the balance we want. Polite, but confident. Now, before we finish, let me remind you of something simple. You don't need perfect English to communicate well. You just need clear words and a kind tone, and you already have that.
That makes me feel encouraged.
Good, because you are improving every day, and every small step matters. To everyone listening, try to use one of these phrases today. Just one, in a real situation. It doesn't need to be perfect. Just try. That's how confidence grows.
Yes, start small, just like we learned.
Exactly. Thank you so much for spending this time with us. We hope this episode helps you feel more comfortable and confident saying no in English.
Thank you for listening. Keep practicing and don't be afraid to speak.
We'll see you again very soon on Speak English with Cath. Take care, everyone. Goodbye.
Goodbye, everyone.